started off slow, like you just alluded to, but he was terrific down the stretch, and he got better as the season wore on. Still very versatile. He can score on the low post. He's very, very fundamentally sound, like this big guy's game.
Yeah, I like his game, but I do want to see his rebounding improve.
Stop
I'm serious. You know what I call a guy who averages under 10 rebounds?
He can't do it all.
He can't be a power forward center if you average under 10 rebounds.
That's because he's running the court. He's running the court.
No, you got to get 10 rebounds or more if you want to do. You got to dominate in the paint. A guy like you telling me he doesn't dominate in the paint and you don't mind that?
Yeah, you're giving him a pass on that?
You let him to run the floor and stay and shoot jump shots? I cannot believe.
2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, Barclays Center. For the Washington Wizards, they come in off a good outing against the Memphis Grizzlies.
And I believe what that game came down to was their ability to really knock down those triples.
Yeah, I thought the work they did on the perimeter was excellent. It was just too much for that defense, or really any defense for that matter, to handle.
And now Washington's starting group. They've got Garrett Temple, Oubre out there with Jared Dudley. And it's Wall, and it's Gortat in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And those are the first points of the game.
Nice hoop to get the scoring started there.
Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly, but last season they were put up for sale, surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
Gortat with a screen on Jack. All with it. Now Jack defending. Rejected by Young. Oh, and here comes Johnson all alone. Jack passes to Bogdanovich. No good. Now Washington takes it the other way. This game against Brooklyn here, it's their first look at the Nets.
And going back to last year, this series was an even split.
Yeah, guys, they feel like they're the better team. The standings would agree with that. I look for them to assert that with their play tonight.
It's the Nets now. Kelly Oubre unable to get his last shot to go. Gortat against Young. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Count that one. Young's got his second bucket.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D because that clearly was a breakdown.
Wall attacking. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Jack dishes to Lopez. The pass to Bogdanovich. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Young. Gortat with the rebound.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Dishes the Wall. Kept alive. And he banks in the layup.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Here's Bogdanovich after marching Gortat's bucket. On the wing, Johnson. He's coming off a 13-point game against Dallas.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
And so it's Washington with it after Joe Johnson's score. No one near Wall as he lets it go. Again, the miss by Wall. For Brooklyn, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Here's the 3. But they'll get another chance. Johnson can't hit. Washington has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I caught up with Coach Randy Whitman. coach said that even though this is the first meeting of the year, he didn't expect there to be much of a feeling out period between the teams. He said, listen, we have a group of guys that can all score and do it in a hurry. I expect us to come right at them and test their defense early on. They'll definitely be on the attack, guys.
Okay, Doris, well, the offensive approach, a primary force in the game plan today, guys.
Yeah, they are out to put up a big number today, and I think they can do it.
Well, that certainly seems to be the goal. I mean, it could be a shootout if their plans come to fruition.
Wall. Jack with the rebound. The Brooklyn Nets come into this one following a loss to Dallas.
And listen, you have to take advantage of the freebies. And on that night, they did not, and that is why they just could not recover.
Exactly. I mean, they left too much cheese at the foul line. And in the end, it mattered on the scoreboard and cost them.
Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Yeah, they needed the timeout here. Anything to try to get them to forget about the missed shots and get themselves back on track.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. Wizards trail by 3. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And Dudley kicks to Oubre. They set the pick. Here's Gortat. Shot is good off the back rim and in. For Brooklyn, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Jack passes to Johnson. Young outside. Back to Johnson. Just 4 to shoot. Off target from outside. Washington's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Despite an overall strong year in 2015 for the Wizards, they were pretty weak at times, Clark, on the road.
Managed only 17 wins away from home. Tied the Pelicans for the fewest road wins for any team that actually made the playoffs last year.
And for the Wizards and their road problems, a lot of it came from their inability to defend the three. I mean, they were in the bottom third in the league at defending the three as the road team.
And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. And then for Washington, Humphries comes in for Oubre, and Gary Neal subbed in for Garrett Temple to the left side wing. And Karasov kicks to Bargnani. There's a screen by Robinson. Here's Sloan, covered by Wall. Over to the left wing. Karasov, no luck.
And you know what's odd about the Wizards' road problems is that they played outstanding defense otherwise. I mean, compared to 2014, they definitely took a step backwards in regards to their road play last season.
Here's Sloan after the basket by Washington. He kicks to Ellington. Here's Karasov. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt. The Wizards with the lead. It's Wall with the drive. And it's been a tough game for him offensively. Brooklyn's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Ellington dishes to Sloan. Knocks down the three ball.
The lead changes hands once more. There has been no separation between these two teams.
You know, it's made for one heck of an entertaining game. Even when it hasn't been the best basketball being played, it sure has been fun to watch.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Now here's Ellington. He's guarded by Dudley. For 3. Rebounded by Dudley. The Wizards shooting just about an even 40% to start. They get it back. The Nets have gone 6 of 14 shooting the ball since the start of the game. And Sloan kicks to Karasov. Pass to Robinson. Right wing, the 3-ball. Sloan, that's good. Now it's a 4-point Nets lead.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Let's face it, the defense is a step slow. You've got to take away the airspace. The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
There's the feed to Ellington. And Sloan kicks to Robinson. The jump hook, and he gets it to go.
And that's right where they wanted to go with the ball in rhythm.
Wizards trail by 6. Can they get it? Again, the miss by Wall.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
And Sloan kicks to Bargnani. Here's Robinson, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right, yeah. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Nets lead by 6. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And Nets head coach Lionel Hollins known for his no-nonsense style, but he'll tell you.
I told him all you could.
I still don't think that Coach Hollins is anyone to be trifled with, and I think the Net players would agree with me on that one.
Oh, yes, I know they've got that one figured out. And I do, too, as a matter of fact. The last thing anybody on the team better be doing is laughing at Lionel Hollins. Just ask Darren Williams.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And from Brooklyn, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Not much room to operate offensively. The defense has been stifling through the first.
Greg, they haven't given up a lot of easy chances at all.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Taking a look at the Wizards. We've got Oubre. Garrett Temple is out there with Ramon Sessions. Then it's Chris Humphries. And it's Gortat in at the 5, down low. Now, here's Oubre. He's coming off a 10-point game against Memphis.
Yeah, but I also thought the rebounding was impressive. He got some huge boards in that game.
Injuries have certainly taken their toll on Bargnani, culminating in disaster last season. Greg suiting up for only 29 games, the fewest ever in his career.
Yeah, I mean, he had a series of leg injuries, the hammy, the calf. Really unfortunate part about it is that he has so much talent, but yet really to develop that on the floor because of all the issues. Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets.
And in thinking about Bargnani's impact, he's a guy who can generate points from every spot on the floor. 3-point range, converts at the rim. He's about 7 feet tall, 250 pounds, and shoots free throws like a guard.
Now here's Johnson. He has 5. Goes to the fadeaway and cans it. Johnson's got 7.
That's a shot he shouldn't be afraid to take more often. And talking about Bargnani last season, he was actually generating efficient numbers when he was healthy. I mean, way up in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. I would love to see him remain healthy and have a chance to quiet the doubters.
Now here's Johnson. He's got 7. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That's on Sessions. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Brooklyn.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
And he makes the first. Washington's offense last year looked solid on paper, but in reality, it was much tougher to defend against. They could hurt you in a number of ways.
And the Wizards, Kevin, could get you in transition, but they could also, as you mentioned, they could get you with their half-court sets. Top 10 in field goal percentage as well as three-point percentage last season.
Now, here is Young after Gortat's miss, and Jack kicks to Young. Humphries gets the rebound. Wizards trail by 5. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Screen by Young. Jack passes to Young. Back to Jack. It's stolen by Sessions. Gortat with the screen for Sessions. He dishes it to Gortat. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. And now just a 1-point Nets lead. The Nets have gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Yes, Kevin, Randy Whitman had some words for his team over the break. He told Gortat that he wants their offense to run through him. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Now, here is Young. 29 points for him last game against Dallas.
And also defensively, he was really aggressive. I mean, matter of fact, he had 4 steals over the course of that game.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Taking 2 shots.
He doesn't get the second one. Wizards have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And Temple kicks to Sessions. Humphries with a screen on Johnson. Pass to Humphries. Cuts off the pass. And here we go. Fast break. Jack's got it.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. Floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively. And this lead, I think, is headed up.
There's a screen by Gortat. 4 on the clock. Oubre. No one around him. The dish to Temple. Fires the 3. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Now we have a chance to see the teams that have been the NBA's best three-point shooters this month. The Wizards 5th.
I tell you what, when you have a month like this, the way they've been shooting it, you feel like the basket is 3 times as big as normal. I mean, it's hard to maintain this level of productivity, but we'll see if they can make it happen.
The Nets shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And he knocks down the first one.
Johnson has been too much to handle. 9 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And Clark, I'm sure that won't be the last one. A lot of times he can get hot and stay hot from beyond.
Looking at it. Is out there now for the Nets. Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Bogdanovic. And Donald Sloan subbed in for Jarrett Jack. Brown is checked in for Joe Johnson. Outside, Wall. At the top of the key, Neal. Off the screen. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Well, guys, how good a playmaker is John Wall? 2nd in assists last season to Chris Paul. Clark, he almost finished number 1.
Yeah, and the only difference really is that Paul was a little more efficient than Wall. Paul had a 4-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Wall was only at 2.5 to 1. But some of that is Paul's experience.
The shot's good from Ellington. Wizards trail by 6. Feeds to Oubre. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass. And the one thing about John Wall, he has that air of confidence that only the truly great ones possess. He's a fearless attacker, tremendous vision and creativity, a true floor general, not just an athlete masquerading as a point guard.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And the Wizards with possession after the basket by Brooklyn.
And, you know, talking about John Wall, we saw him improve his pacing last season. Sure, he still played at rapid-fire speed at times, but he also seemed to have a better understanding of when to pull it back and when to speed it up. Better change of pace in how he went about his game.
Now, here is Robinson. Following the miss by John Wall. Robinson dishes to Bargnani. That's good. And now... Eight-point Nets lead.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's Ellington. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over. And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
There's a screen by Robinson. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Brown the pass to Ellington. He feeds it to Sloan. Fires the three. Washington with the rebound. Here's the break. "36 seconds left in the first half of the game. And Neal kicks to Wall. And he hits the jump shot. Wall's got 8 points.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Picked by Bargnani. 19 seconds left in the first half. Sloan dishes to Ellington. Kicks to Sloan. Tries it from the top of the key. Shot is no good. Nice D from Wall. And so that brings the first half to a close. Brooklyn ahead, leading by 6. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I've got Joe, and you started out with a great first half and seemed to have that extra boost in your game tonight. Did you feel you needed to take on a bigger role?
I'm just trying to be more assertive, man, on both ends of the court. You know, I think
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the Brooklyn came out looking very confident. They were able to stretch out their lead to 8 points on the heels of a few stops. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. You look at Joe Johnson, he's really been playing well.
And in terms of points in that first half, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Young out there with Brook Lopez. Then there's Johnson. Then it's Jarrett Jack. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 2-guard spot. So that's the group for Lionel Hollins as we begin the second half. Here's Oubre. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Well, a lot of tough teams in this league. Here's where Washington sits right now in the rankings. Second in fast break points. Fifth in three-point field goal percentage. And they are in the top third of the league in assists. The quality of players they have, you thought they might be better there, but not bad.
And you mentioned their ability to score in transition. This is a team that loves to get out and run. And one of the things I like, they move the ball up court with the pass as much or more than anybody in the league.
And Young slams it home.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Dudley with a screen on Jack. Wall passes to Gortat. Dishes it to Oubre. Outside, Wall. No good on the three. Brooklyn leading by 8. And Jack kicks to Bogdanovich. Back to Jack. Young outside. Passes it to Johnson. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Johnson's got the lead up to 10 now for the Nets. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Yeah, and I think he's going to let them know about it. I mean, they're playing some soft interior defense, and you can't win that way. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not going to play with some physicality inside.
And Washington making a change here. Humphries checked in. Oubre dishes to Temple. Wall passes to Dudley. Here's Wall. He's got 8. Looking to get it going. The rebound by Young.
This is not the slam dunk contest. You don't get do-over. You got to finish the job.
And guys, there was a time where people wondered if John Wall could be a team leader. Well, that question has been answered and then some. Unquestioned leader of the Wizards.
That is good. Wall's got 10 points.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Now here's Lopez. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Count that one, and the Nets' lead has been cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Humphries. Young sets a screen for Jack. Johnson in the corner. And that's a foul called on Chris Humphries. That's his first foul.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Sessions checked in for Oubre. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And a good time here to go over our 2K leaderboard and see which point guards have had the hottest hand at the free throw line over the last 10 games. John Wall, fourth.
They are as reliable at the free throw line as you're going to find in this league, and that's something we've come to expect from the point guard position.
Yeah, typically you're going to find your best free throw shooters at that point guard spot. But it doesn't happen automatically. I mean, these fellas are consistently working and practicing to keep that percentage as high as it is.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. And Sloan kicks to Ellington. Here's Karasov. There's a screen by Robinson. Here's Ellington. Can't cash in from close range.
4 for 5 so far. That's their first miss of the second half.
Sessions, no good. Nets leading by 8. Here's Sloan. 6 points for him. There's the pass to Bargnani. The jump hook and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
To the inside, Dudley, and Bargnani sends it back. To the right side. Inside, Sloan passes to Robinson. In the corner, it's Ellington. Back to Robinson. He kicks to Ellington. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Karasov dishes to Sloan. The three-pointer is right on target. Sloan's got 9.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not? And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you know, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
Gary Neal's checked in for Washington. Here's Humphries. And another miss by Washington. Nets leading by 13. Ellington with it. He has 5. And Karasov kicks to Bargnani. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Guys, Bargnani was compared to several other international players when he came out. Some said he was Nowitzki. Others thought he might be more like Yao Ming in terms of impact. Ming was the only other player taken 1 overall who had never played high school or college hoops.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one misses. And going back to international comparisons, Bargnani was keeping some pace with Nowitzki over his first 5 years. But that's when the injury bug laid into him, and that's not been the case.
You know, and Bargnani was really starting to play great on the offensive end, and defensively, he started to make an impact. But Nowitzki, on the other hand, just kept rising all the way to that true Hall of Fame status. Bargnani still searching.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those balls.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum. And as they continue to just dominate this game, you have to wonder how much can they win by.
Well, it's on the verge of getting out of hand, Greg. You can feel it. You can see it. In part because the defense has been about as good as the offense, and both have been really good.
Robinson a screen on Sessions. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
The shooting percentage continues to elevate here in the second half.
Well, as a group, they've been harmonic since the break. In sync. good team basketball resulting in high-quality shots.
And the Wizards making a change here. Gortat's checked in.
Yeah, that's a difficult shot in the face of a defender that towers over him.
You know, guys sometimes love proving people wrong. You know that from guys you've played with. And, Greg, this mismatch gives him an opportunity to quiet the haters and naysayers.
Yeah, okay.
Here's Sloan after the basket by Washington. And Karasov kicks to Sloan. And the three ball is good. Sloan's got 6 here in this quarter.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Sessions no good. And here's Brooklyn. They're on a 13-5 run here. In the corner, it's Ellington. Pass to Karasov. Robinson left side. Nets passing it around. Sloan passes to Bargnani. Here's Karasov. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And the Nets lead by 18.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
And he gets it to go.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
And it's a big key thus far in this game, Clark, because whenever they've gotten the ball in the paint, good things have happened.
Here's Sloan. 12 points for him. That's good. Bargnani's got 7 points in the game.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep.
To the wing on the left. To the middle. It's deflected. Ramon Sessions with the steal. And here we go, the Wizards' fast break. Shots good by Neal. Neal's got 7 points here in this quarter.
And that steal paid instant dividends.
No wasted time or motion getting out on that fast break.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. Oubre out there with Jared Dudley. Then it's Garrett Temple. Then it's Gortat, and it's Wall in at the 5. Young outside. Here's Bogdanovich. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Wizards trail by 16. Johnson over to help. And here's Wall. Offline from the high post. Jack against Wall. And Jack kicks to Bogdanovich. The feed to Young. Lopez inside. Gortat covering. Shot clock at 5. Jack with the 3. That is good. Jack's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Nets. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Pass to Temple. Fires the 3. Brooklyn with the rebound. Johnson dishes to Young. Lets it go from 11. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
Wizards trail by 21. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And Dudley kicks to Wall.
And guys, more and more, we're seeing the league try to protect the health of the players. I mean, you see the evidence on the court. Over the last 5 years, the league has cut down the number of cameramen along the baselines in half, giving these great athletes a little more runway to land safely.
Puts up the baby hook. Lopez, no luck.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Here's Temple. He's guarded by Johnson. Here's Oubre. Sinks the 15-footer. And speaking of more space for the players, there's even been talk of widening the court. What do you think of that, Clark?
You know, players have gotten bigger and more athletic, so I wouldn't be opposed to maybe widening the lane a bit. I know the owners with those front row seats breaking in that cash might not want to expand the court.
And Young, here we go to the paint. Kicks it out to Johnson. He dishes it to Young. Fires from deep. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. And it's 13 points here for Thaddeus Young.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Young, a screen on Wall. Johnson in the corner.
And guys, you look over the history of the Defensive Player of the Year award, and it usually goes to big men. Big men get the blocks and clog up the paint, but before last season, the last 10 Defensive Player of the Year awards went to bigs.
Left side, Wall. Lets it go from deep, and the rebound goes to Lopez. Lopez has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Back to Jack. Down low. And Brook Lopez, the bucket on the assist from Jack. Last year we saw Kawhi Leonard win the Defensive Player of the Year award. Draymond Green was runner-up, and although he was a power forward, I thought, Clark, he was defending on the perimeter quite a bit.
Yeah, he was, and you know, it's only the 8th time out of 33 Defensive Player of the Year awards that's not been given to a big guy. So well earned by Kawhi Leonard, and Draymond Green very easily could have won the award too.
Wall draws the double. Here's Temple. He's guarded by Johnson, and Temple kicks to Dudley. The dish to Gortat. Drops one in from the wing.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
Jack passes to Young. Johnson outside. Makes it off the glass.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
And it's good.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to lead. Open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
And for Jared Dudley, a bit of a resurgence last season. Found a team you like playing for, played much closer to his career numbers than the year before with the Clippers.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, he turned back the clock in almost every category, and I think to your point, a lot of it has to do with the fit. He's on a team in a role that suits his talent, and I think you're going to see him continue to be consistent.
Gary Neal's checked in for Garrett Temple. Robinson a screen on Gortat. No good from Bargnani.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Wall dishes to Gortat. And Neal kicks to Dudley. And there's the 3-second violation.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze.
Here's Sloan. And that one comes up a bit short.
And, you know, going back to Jared Dudley, he helps you in so many different ways. Shoots a lot of threes, yet does so efficiently. He rebounds, he passes the ball. He'll get a little physical, too. He's a valuable vet to have in your locker room.
Here's Karasov. Gortat covering. Ellington kicks to Bargnani. From 6 feet, and it's Bargnani again missing.
And you know what Jared Dudley's nickname was in college? The Junkyard Dog. I mean, for his toughness and that nose he has for the ball. Two attributes that have served him greatly here at the next level.
And the shot is good.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Nets.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to
Well,
him.
you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
Greg, I don't think it'll play out quite that simply, though. The team coming out on the losing end of Game 1 is just that much more motivated to get even in Game 2 and 3. So I think the edge goes to the losing team.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Joe Johnson. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long. And that's just a little more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate a W.
Well, let the party start. The celebration begins, and they're going to let their guys hear it.
Shots good by Neal.
And this run not really doing them any good at this point, as late as it's starting to evolve.
Yeah, but kudos to him, Greg. I mean, the fight they're showing now, you got to give them credit for that. Would have been really easy to pack it in.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They poured it on tonight, Clark. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
I don't think they have anything but positives to take away from this win. Offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game, it all went right for them.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, Joe, congratulations.
The 2K Sports postgame show.